Hello guys, this is What About Nintendo, and I am back with another Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch theory video. Last week, or earlier this week, I should say actually, we talked about how Breath of the Wild's moveset may be different from other links in the past Smash series. In this one, we're going to be talking about a brand new character's moveset, the Inklings, which were just shown off in that reveal trailer. We saw that the Inkling boy and girl will be playable in Smash. And of course, these characters play pretty much like nothing I've ever seen before in a Smash game. So it's very interesting to see how how they might play. But I've come up with some theories. I've gone even more in depth than I did last time, and I've got some theories for how they might play. So let's get right on into it. So the Inklings have many different weapons at their disposal, but obviously they're not all going to be available. But I do think they'll use many of the different weapon types, like the snipers, or otherwise known as chargers, sloshers, the regular shooter or rapid fire weapons, the ink brushes, the splatbrellas, the shotguns, the blasters, the rollers, and even more items and different weapon types, and specials and subs and all kinds of crazy stuff are at the Inklings' disposal in Splatoon and Splatoon 2. So I think they'll use many of these different things in their moveset. But let's go over each different type of move and what I think they'll be. First off, you got their neutral attack. And this is just the standard attack where you just hold down the A button. You don't really move around very much. You just kind of hold down the A button and run around and shoot stuff. And that seems to be fitting for me, is kind of what we've already seen in that reveal trailer. I think they'll use the splatter shot. That's the most basic, just Splatoon weapon there is. It's the first weapon you ever got to play as in Splatoon 1, and at least for the beta and stuff like that. And it's just one of the most basic weapons that exists. So I think that would definitely be just a normal neutral attack, will be just running around shooting with the splatter shot. I think that makes sense. As for your side tilt, I think you will use the blaster. The blasters can be very powerful, so I think doing a side tilt with a blaster could be very useful there. Up tilt, I think you would use the ink brush. I think it would be very good for juggling players around in the air as you run around on the ground. I think that could be really, really good. Also kind of annoying, but I mean, what up tilts aren't annoying? So I think that would be very fun to use there. Down tilt, I think you would use an ink mine. I think that would be very good. Kind of like the bomb Samus drops. I believe it's Samus who drops those bombs when she does her down tilt, I believe. So very much like that, I think you would drop an ink mine there, and just if somebody runs over it, they'll explode. So get some good chip damage in there and get some surprise attacks. I think that would be good. Dash attack will be the roller. The roller is just something that, you just run around and you splat ink down. So I think definitely while you're running, you can just pull out your roller, slap it on the ground, and start running around with your roller and wrecking enemies for your dash attack. For your side special, I took a little bit of inspiration from Link, and I thought that a sniper could be a good side special. Just charge it up and shoot, kind of like how Link uses his bow. Except it would just shoot in a straight line, and how much you charge it, instead of being, its angle or anything like that, it would be how far it goes. Your down special, I think you might dodge into your ink. That's something that happens a lot in Splatoon, and I think they'll incorporate that for your down special, just going down in ink, maybe even leaving a, spawning an ink grenade and leaving that above so you can dodge your opponent's attack and counterattack at the same time. I think that could be very fun. Somebody trying to slash, maybe Link's trying to slash you with his sword, Mario's trying to kick you in the face. You just go down your ink, you leave a grenade there, and if they're not careful, they'll get blown up and you get away. So that seems like a good down special for the Inklings. Up special / recovery, I think, would be the squid jump, and I think, it's pretty much the only move that makes sense. The Inklings can't really jump very high. They don't have any moves that are really aerial moves, except for the ink jump where you can jump to other players. So I think you would just jump up really high. You'd go into your squid form, you'd shoot a burst of ink out of your squid, and then you'd fly up really high, and I think maybe if you hit somebody directly above you, it could damage them as well. So it could be a good recovery and a good attack to get that spike damage going there. I think the neutral air would be the burst bomb. Seems like something that would come in really handy when you're just flying there. You can just throw a quick burst bomb at your enemy, do a little bit of chip damage, kind of like maybe get them away from you. You know, because those are something in Splatoon where you can just throw a bunch of them. They don't take much ink, so I think that would be good for that. Just throw a couple of, you know, burst bombs at your enemy, get them to go away. For your forward air, I think a slosher would be a really good move here, as well as something that could really just spike an enemy off screen. Maybe you jump, you throw a slosher at an enemy that's over a pit, and it just grabs them and throws them down. I think that should kind of gives me the feeling there's so much ink there. I feel like if it hit an enemy, it would give them downward momentum. I don't think this would be something that would be so OP that if you did that, it would, you know, insta-kill the enemy. But I think just being able to, you know, use that in the air, throwing your slosher at an enemy, maybe it puts a little bit of downward momentum in there so that you can try to get them to not be able to recover and grab onto the edge there. I think that would be a good move, and something that would be very competitive, and just it makes sense to me that you would use that just to spike them. As for your down air, I think the splashdown could be really fun to use. Obviously, I don't think it would make a huge, like, wave of ink like it does in the game, but just doing that kind of like superhero pose almost, just you're in the air and you slam down, and if you hit somebody, it does a bunch of damage. I think that could be a really good down air and incorporate more of those specials into the moveset. For your up air, I think it would probably be the same as your up tilt. Just use the ink brush, just throw it up high and just smack people up in the air, kind of like when Link throws a sword. Apparently I just really like Link, maybe, I don't know. But this just makes a lot of sense to me that, you know, you could use the ink brush almost like a sword or just juggle players in the air. I think that would make a lot of sense. A lot of up airs are just, you know, just to juggle the enemy, just to get some chip damage in there, just to keep them off of you. So I think that would work well if the up tilt was the same in the air as well with your up air, just using that ink brush to kind of slap enemies around, juggle them around, and get them off of you. For your back air, I think either the roller or, again, the ink brush would be good to kind of reach behind you and kind of smack the enemy, just like, you know, turn around and smack the enemy away. I think it would probably be pretty slow, but a very heavy attack, so if it hits them, it could do a lot of damage or get a lot of knockback. I think either the roller or the ink brush could be good for either of that. For your forward smash, I definitely think the roller makes a lot of sense. Just being able to grab the roller and do that kind of ink throw that you have, I think that could make a lot of sense. Or just do the, you know, where you kind of slam the ink roller down onto enemies. You get a lot of damage in that. I think that would make for a really good forward smash. As for your up smash, I think the Splatbrella could be really good. Kind of reminds me of Villager's up smash, where he can use his fireworks. So I think it would work very much the same way as that. You just kind of take your Splatbrella, you just shoot it straight up, and get that shotgun effect and just blast people to pieces. I think that could be really fun. The down smash, I think, could be the Kraken. I was thinking of moves that the Inklings, they could do that would hit opponents down low, and I couldn't really think of anything other than the Kraken from Splatoon 1. Maybe you could do a little quick thing where the Kraken goes back and forth, you know, side to side, and hits the enemies. Because that, I don't know, just makes a lot of sense for it to be the Kraken. I really couldn't find anything else that would fit the bill, so I think the Kraken makes perfect sense here. Just go down low with the Kraken and hit people side to side. I think an interesting way to do the grab could be the Bubble Blower. Now I know in Splatoon 2 the Bubble Blower doesn't actually grab enemies, but it would make sense if it did. In fact, bubbles are just, you know, you see them all the time in cartoons where bubbles kind of enclose the enemy and they're like, kind of float away. I don't know what sound effect. But you know what I'm talking about. They just grab them and they float away. So I think the Bubble Blower, maybe using it a little bit out of context from how it's used in Splatoon 2, but I think it would still be very fun for a grab. As for your final smash, I think they may use the Inkjet. The Inkjet is one of the, it just really made sense to me. There were some other ones, you know, that they could have used some of the really powerful guns, but I think that didn't quite fit with a final smash. I think this makes the most sense. You can move, you got a great movement abilities with the jetpack that's strapped to your back, and you got a really, really powerful gun that you can shoot people with. I think also the ink trails that are made from your jetpack, since it's kind of like a water jetpack where you actually shoot ink down and that's what makes you fly. I think those could also hurt people. I think if they get under the way of the ink spray that's keeping you up in the air, I think that could hurt people. And of course you get the really powerful blaster and you can move around really freely and really quickly, and it just, I think, would be a very cool final smash and something that would be very useful as well. So anyways guys, those are the moves that I think the Inkling will have, but of course these could be changed out. Nintendo could have some completely different, crazy, wacky ideas for it, but I just think that, you know, since there's so much customization options with all these weapons and all these different weapon types and all these specials and all these subs, I think they really should be incorporated into the moveset. So that's what I try to do for this, but Nintendo might have a completely different idea, and you guys might have a completely different idea as well. So let me know down in the comments below how you think the Inklings will play in Smash Brothers. And if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos Monday through Saturday, and live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes Saturdays as well. And I'll see all you guys later on What About Nintendo. Bye!